So yeah, Chris de Monterey and the cochroach outfit.
Well, one of the we did a few events that were ongoing events. One of them was bowling themed events, and we did.
Well, because we found out about a bowling alley that was in Colma, which is kind of the city of the dead in South
That's right. So
South Bay.
That was the first one.
Right. So we did dead celebrity bowling. So we went there at midnight
because there's all the graveyards.
Yeah, and the bowling alley was open like 24 hours at that point, I think. And
yes, it was a 24-hour bowling alley.
Yeah, so we went at midnight, and we all showed up as dead celebrities and went bowling, and then that started this kind of themed bowling parties.
That was the one where the guy brought a skull inside a bowling ball. It was like a resin cast skull, so that you could bowl with.
Yeah, and he wasn't in costume, and he comes up and he's like, "Is this the dead celebrity bowling?" And we're like, "Yeah," and he's like, "I'm bowling with the head of Marie Antoinette," and he pulls out this like skull in a clear plastic bowling ball, and he actually won a trophy that night, and he was super happy and proud. He was like, I never won a trophy for anything. And
it's a bowling event, so it's a sporting event, so we
had trophies.
We made trophies.
Yeah. And then we did one, though, the one where Chris de Monterey crashed. We did one where, so the Presidio in San Francisco, the old military base, has the old bowling alley is still there, and you can go there and bowl.
It's a tiny bowling alley.
Yeah, and so we did a military bowling where we all dressed up military.
Right. But we just like kind of found out the hours. We didn't call ahead, and I guess it's very common for the bowling alley to get rented out for like 9-year-olds' birthday parties.
Right. So we bowled for about an hour,
and then we got kicked out. This rent out. It's a really tiny bowling alley, so they like rent the whole thing.
And as we're getting kicked out,
everyone was dressed in military garb.
Right.
And we had a big American flag that we draped over the
bowling console. Exactly. The ball return and
trophies.
And trophies. And then so we were leaving the bowling alley, and we run into Chris de Monterey in the parking lot on our way out, and he had just shown up, and we're like, hey, we're getting kicked out. We're going to go to the Colma bowling alley instead, maybe after we get some food. And and then he's like, okay, cool. And so then we go and get some food, and then it's late and we're tired, and then we're like, okay, well, I guess, some of the group decides to go on to the Colma bowling alley to go bowling, and we don't. We head back home, and what we hear happens later is Chris de Monterey went to the Colma bowling alley and happened to have like
his trunk
in the back of his van like this realistic giant cockroach outfit,
as one does,
and so he puts it on and basically runs into the bowling alley dressed as this cockroach, thinking he's gonna find us and like just prank us, but we're not there, and I think the other people that were bowling down there from the group had already left or something. And so he just runs around inside the bowling alley for a little while looking for us. And kids are running up to him, and he's hissing at the kids like a giant cockroach and just running around the inside of the bowling alley. And then he just runs out the other side. And this is at like 11 o'clock at this bowling alley in Colma, like a Saturday night or something. And then he just runs back to his van and like drives off.
I think he had a good time.
I think he had a good time.